Oh, cool. There's a new update. That's what's up. But where's everything at? Oh, well, there's still some cool stuff in here. You know what? I think I'm going to have to go over all this. See what all they added. So I think that's what we're going to do. So if you guys enjoy this 2.2 patch note review, please make sure you hit that like, that subscribe, turn the notifications on. You know, all that good stuff. But we're about to get in and see what all they got here. Okay, so hopping straight into the news update here. It doesn't seem like they incorporated everything into the patch 2.2 that they had shown in their what's coming up next in raid roadmap. But I do like the fact that they did those short-term roadmaps of everything that's coming up. You know, Plarium, definitely keep up with that. I like it. But hopping into it, we've got the Artifact Forge. Crafting system in Raid. I'm super excited to see one. Pretty much every RPG that I've ever played has some form of, crafting or, some type of enhancement for gear that, the player has some control over. I like to see it, and this is our version of it, the Forge. So right here, you've got your crafting materials. You'll get these from Arena and Faction Wars. Very simple. Definitely encourages people to grind and farm those areas of the game more. And then we've got our charms here for rank, rarity, the type of equipment that you craft, and even the substat control. I like that control. It's very nice. And then we've got two new sets, Resilience and Perception. We'll go over those, kind of discuss their strengths and weaknesses, as well as the crafting system gives us access to Deflection and Swift Parry, which you could only get from Platinum Arena tiered chests once a week. So definitely happy to see more access to those sets, as well as the ability to kind of control the components of each that you craft. Moving on, we've got the Advanced Quest. Oh, I love these. It's probably, as far as actual, whole piece of content, the Advanced Quest, probably one of the things that I'm most excited about. I know that sounds lame, but I like to grind. Hello, my name is Dragon Grind. It's what I do. And so this gives me something more to grind on a day-to-day basis, as well as receive the rewards and kind of have, a little goal to work towards with some decent payouts. After that is in the news, we've got Saito, the new champion that they've released. The champion did drop. He is in the index. I'm not sure if you can pull him from shards, but I have heard rumor that he may be an upcoming fusion. So, kind of interested to see what they do with him, or if he's just one additional legendary, Magic Affinity champion. We've got so many Magic Affinity champions. But I plan on covering him and the Faction Wars Reward Champion in another video, kind of give them their due diligence and their time. I want to discuss it. I'll probably go over both of their kits and things tonight. As soon as this video uploads, I'll be live on Twitch. Link in the description. You guys come check me out. We can talk about, a lot of these new additions and the champion. After that, we've got some AI fixes and champion updates, as well as mechanics, some game experience enhancements. We'll go over all of these. And then we've got the champion rebalance list. Now, that's been a hot topic, so I'm not going to cover everything, but I am going to kind of, touch on some of the champions that was, mostly affected, or champions I'm excited about. So let's get into our first little part of it here. We're going to go check out the crafting system and, discuss a little bit more about that. All right, so here we are at the Forge, aka the old campfire. Finally did something with it, and to be honest, it's looking kind of promising. I'm definitely excited to see it. On the left hand side, we've got our sets that you can craft. So we have Parry, 4-piece set, Deflection, 4-piece set, Resilience, 2-piece set, Perception, 2-piece set. Now the pieces per set really do kind of weigh heavily as far as what the better sets to craft out of this are. Moving on, we've got Resilience, 2-piece set. Seems like a really easy, simple, basic kind of gear set here that you can craft. Got 10% HP and 10% defense. It just yells early game to me. I see a lot of early game, fresh faces to raid. Can find some value out of the crafting system in this set to help them push through campaign. Maybe even on some of their supports where they don't have much speed gear and things like that. Just for some sustain in the early game arena, which honestly ain't gonna help you too much with the way classic arena is right now. But all in all, with the ability to control the you know, with charms, the rank, the rarity, the type, and the substat, you know, I could definitely see this hat seeing some use. But then we get to perception. Perception is by far, in my opinion, the best set out of the entire crafting system. It's a 2-piece set. It gives each set gives 40 accuracy and 5% speed. Technically, you can put, you know, 3 sets on, so that'd be 120 accuracy and 15% speed just from the set bonuses. Now, that's not the most OP, but I definitely like it. Combine that with the fact of how much control you get over it, and I think it's pretty solid. Now, looking at the crafting odds here, the crafting system has what you can actually craft broke down into star or ranking tiers. You got your 3 to 4, your 4 to 5, and your 5 to 6. Now, on your 3 to 4, without any charms, you're looking at 60% chance at a 3-star. That's a little rough, but it's still, you know, 60 and then a 40%. If you're that early in the game where these are going to be useful, then, you know, you still kind of have a decent chance at the 4-star. But with the charm, pretty much 80%. You're almost guaranteed a 4-star piece. Very solid for the early game players. Then you've got your 4 to 5 stars. Without it's still kind of leaning towards, without the charm, it's leaning pretty heavily on the lower ranking piece. But with the charm, you're looking still at a steady 70% at a 5-star. It's pretty nice. Not bad for sure. Now, getting down to the end game here crafting, you got your 5 and 6-star. Without the charm, you're pretty much guaranteed a 5-star. I mean, there's a small chance you'll get a 6-star. And even with the charm, you're still looking at a 50-50 chance. But when you're in game and you're really trying to craft just these, you know, these masterpiece, you're pretty much gonna always want to craft with the rank charm. And without it, it's just not. You might get something decent, but you just, odds are way against you here. So for all you in-game players, you know, don't get too excited with the crafting system. Hoard your materials, collect them all up till you get a nice, you know, accumulate a nice amount, and then just go ham on crafting. Make sure you got your charms and everything set up. As far as your rarity odds, you're pretty much set at a nice base default for the rare. Without the charm, you might have a chance of pulling an epic, but very, very low chance of pulling a legendary. Now, with the charm, it looks like the odds are you to pretty much stick with the epic rarity. Very nice, and you get double the chance for legendary, which, you know, 15%. That's actually kind of a solid chance of getting a legendary. It's not nothing crazy. It's no guarantee by far, but better than pulling a Lego. Now, moving on to the charms, you know, we've got our materials. Oh, I'd like to point out, at the top, we've got our crafting tiers here, your 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. And as you can notice, there is a single bloodstone, single bloodstone, double bloodstone for epic, single is rare. And then on the 5 to 6, you have a triple bloodstone that's legendary. Make sure you pay attention to those when you're actually farming faction wars for your materials, because those things kind of, you know, they matter, as depending on, you know, what you get depends on what you can craft. So those are all nice. Down here are charms. We'll finally get into these. You have a ranked charm for the 2 times chance of a higher ranking, as we've seen in the odds. It isn't like an insane amount of high ranking, but the charms for rank and rarity are going to be pretty huge. And I'm going to imagine that the type charm, it's not going to be as effective as you think. It's not going to increase your odds as much as you think. Now, when you really want them speed boots, or you really want them, you know, them crit damage gloves or whatever, you know, they might have some chance. But there is no charm for main stat. I feel like that's one thing that they could incorporate into here, to give us, you know, something else to farm for, but also give us a little more control over the crafting system. But, you know, maybe there's some reason for that I'm unaware of. Moving on down, we've got our substat charms here. These are, to me, are going to be the bread and butter of crafting. These are going to matter the most. They're really the, you know, they're really going to be the, in my opinion, they're probably going to be the paywall for crafting system. All in all, I think that covers a good majority of the crafting system. I'm excited. I'm glad to see it. I will be diving more of it, you know, more into it tonight when I'm streaming. Come check me out there. Now moving on from here, we're going to go check out the advanced quests. Okay, so now here we're at the advanced quest. That's in the quest page. You got your daily, weekly, monthly, and advanced. Really, out of all of these, and 2 of them being daily, it's kind of a lot of quests to go through. I'm happy to see it. We're going to start at the top and work our way down. We've got our top rewards up here. These are kind of the big rewards you get. They max out at 250 and then it resets. Really cool. You've got your 3-day banner, your 5-star chicken, epic, and legendary tome. Those are pretty solid rewards. All of them definitely useful and, you know, worth spending money on, so definitely worth grinding for free. The maxes out at 250. You get 10 a day, so that's on a 25-day cycle. Nice round number. I'm happy to see that. I was curious to whether they're going to make it where it's a full 30-day cycle or what. Not sure. Getting down in the quests though, and these quests do reset on a daily. You've got your complete all advanced quest for an energy refill. I feel like that's a little underwhelming. I'd like to see something, especially since, you know, you've got your daily quest, you've got your playtime rewards, you know, you've got a couple energy things here for advanced quest, which these are very particular things that encourages, you know, a good amount of additional activity on top of your regular things, minus, you know, the clan boss keys. For people who are casual, these are going to be a task, you know what I mean? Not everybody's a hard all-day grinder like some of us. But I feel like an energy refill should definitely be, it should be more than that. Then we've got our 2 clan boss keys. They could have put this at least at 3 in my opinion, but 2's cool. So that way, you know, it encourages people to be active in the clan boss. They do this quest to tack on to get these, and then encourage them to at least use 3 keys. In my clan, it's a 3 key minimum. That's only because I'm trying not to be a hard ass. Really should push it up to 4. And you get a crafting charm for that. You get a type charm. So really cool. I like that reward. Not bad. You've got your 12 crypt keys and faction wars. Big rip to everybody out there who didn't save their faction war keys from last night till today's patch day. You know, maybe if I had some kind of word up, I could have spread the word on that, but unfortunately we didn't. But by using 12 crypt keys and faction wars, you get 3v3 arena refill. That's pretty cool. I like that. Kind of, you know, gives a little edge to the 3v3 for that. And what's funny is they kind of go hand in hand. Is the next one is fight in 5 3v3. I'm not calling it tag team. 3v3 arena series matches. So that's pretty cool, and you get 6 faction war crypt keys for that. I'm not sure if it's 6 per faction that's open, or if it just goes to a random faction or what, but it says any keys claimed only apply to crypts open at that time. So it'd be really nice, especially for us who didn't save our faction war keys. Yes, I'm one. Didn't save their faction war keys. You get 12 keys here. Do that. So that's cool. I'm gonna check that out, you know, whenever I go live after this uploads. And then this next one, man, I kind of have an issue with this one, and I'm sure no one thought about this when they was writing down the list of quests to implement in for this advanced quest. Place 50 debuffs on the Demon Lord. Now, if you're running any kind of traditional team or even an unkillable or anything like that, not a big deal. But if you're running a Vizier and it's a debuff extender team, you only usually place 10 debuffs. Especially if you're running Vizier, because you don't let them drop off. Even finagling it a bit manually to get a couple to drop off, which really was unintentional for the advanced quest. I'm just trying to get rid of Skull Crusher's damn heal reduction. Has 100 accuracy and still lands an ult. I don't. But I'm only landing 10 to 12, I guess, per run. Now you only get 4 keys a day, so that's only 40 to 48. I'm literally going to be a few short every day with the team that I run in Ultra Nightmare. So I feel like this could be tweaked and dropped down to 40. And even then, I'd still have to run 4 keys a day. So, sure. But I do it anyway, so no big deal. And for handling all that, you only get 25k silver. You can't even buy a damn taco in Plarium for 25k silver. I don't know what they expect us to do with that. That reward could definitely be beefed up there some. The next one I also have a little issue with. Defeat 1 faction war boss. Well, if I haven't beat 14 yet, I'm not dropping down to 7 to hit it. I actually prefer to farm 9 on those factions that I haven't beat 14 on, because it has, you know, it has the best key to 1 to 3 star speed glyph, because even at the end game, 1 to 3 star speed glyphs can be helpful in spawning clan boss teams or whatever. So, you know, I'm not going to hit 7 for that. I'm going to hit 9. So do I have to drop down? Or what if I'm at 18 to 20 and it takes me 8 minutes to do 21. Do I gotta drop down to 14? Either way, I feel like that one could definitely, like, that's a bad quest. It could definitely be changed. And then you sacrifice that run for whatever them keys for that run, for five measly gems. I mean, granted, it's only one time, so it ain't that big of a deal, but like, come on, man. Forcing people where to use their resources like that on limited resources, faction war crypts, things like that, like, that's a bit much. But all in all, it is what it is. Then we've got our fight in classic arena with a team from a single faction. That's interesting. I'm gonna admit, like, that's interesting. But especially if you're not an in-game player and you don't have this crazy ass roster of 60s and with masteries and some gear and all that, like, most people, especially with the way classic arena is now, they're not gonna have hope of taking a single faction unless they use literally like 1-2 champs into arena and hoping to win. Like, it's pretty much going to be, well, if you sacrifice an arena token, you can get 50 energy. That's a sacrifice. That ain't an accomplishment. That ain't an achievement. That ain't a reward. That's a trade where you almost feel like you're getting scammed. So there's definitely some here that I'm not too happy with. Next ones make for accessory upgraded temps. That's cool. Most people do their regular gear whenever they do their daily upgraded temp one. So, having them do accessories on top of that, that's cool. And keep it in mind, accessories can be expensive to get from 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So if you don't have a lot of silver, you don't have, or all your accessories that you actually do use right now are all maxed out, just go into your accessory inventory, click on any unleveled accessory and just up it to 4. It'll be 4 automatic, real cheap. Get that done. And you don't want to spend too much on it because, again, it's another crappy reward with a greater pot. Like, that could at least be a super pot, and on top of that, it's arcane, which is unlocked all the time. It should be a random affinity or something. Like, like, some of these rewards in here are pretty garbage. Then we've got the win 3 artifacts from clearing the dungeons and craft 1 perception artifact at the forge, which I've already done. I don't remember exactly what these rewards was. I'm pretty sure one of them was 5-star, or not 5-star, 5 gems, which is another, man, look, there's 5 gems for that. Like, those should at least be like 20. So you do both of them a day, you get another energy refill, something like that. I don't know, but if anyone remember what these are, you drop them down in the comments for me, because I can no longer see. I'm not sure what these are. But I'm happy that we do have more quests to grind for, more rewards, and these top rewards are pretty solid. Even though it takes 25 days to get a legendary tome, 25 days of consistent on your grind, including sacrificing some things in here, and like, you sack, and you have to grind consistently every day for 25 days. You can get your reward. You miss a couple things a day, you're looking at it once a month, you get these rewards. Then they reset. Cool. All right, so we're here at the champion rebalance list, and I must say, as we all know, this is the most exciting part of the 2.2. Now, the new content's awesome, it's great, but we're not sure. A lot of people that's been in raid for a while, it's a little skeptical of Plarium, so we got to test all that stuff out. But these things are where theory crafters and people who really enjoy trying out new champions and things like that, this ain't just a collector game. We actually use these champions we collect. This is where we get into the bread and butter here. First up, I'm not going to touch on all these champions, but first up is Abyss. She is the one that I am the most excited about because I feel she has the potential to be top 3 nukers in the game. Definitely in arena, but probably in the game. Her A2, it was at 50% chance of placing the AoE decreased defense, booked up to 75. Now it starts at 75 and can be booked up to 100. For a legendary, 100% AoE decreased defense, very nice. She's also force, so that kind of helps with that. She's not another magic champion. Then her A3 is the big one. On top of the fact that she had an interesting mechanic where it was an AoE that does damage, but the damage is scaled off of either her attack, her opponent's attack, or her opponent's defense, whichever is highest out of those 3. Not only does it have that, but now if your opponent's attack is higher than Abyss's, she gets an additional 30% crit damage, and if the defense is higher than Abyss's, then they get an additional 30%, or they get an additional effect of ignoring 30% of the target's defense. So in this, granted, I have to play with it, but I see mad potential to just do insane nasty damage. It's kind of like Ethos, but with AoE decreased defense in the kit, and as well. And it's to me, it's very interesting. So I'm definitely gonna play around with that. Her video will be coming soon. Arbiter, supposedly her res skill, her A4, it increased turn meter by 30% instead of the designated 20% that it says in the skill description. So they fixed that. Skipping up some of these, we're gonna go to Blindsider. Blindsider was another one that I was kind of happy to see. I'm a lot of my streamer buddies, Heartless and them, they was definitely happy to see Tham as well. Happy to see Blindsider get touched up. She got her A2 actions reordered, so she does the block debuffs first before she does the shield or anything like that to counter Tormund's effect. So the block debuff comes up, then she puts up the rest of the buffs, everybody's safe, and the cooldown on it got decreased. Her AoE res skill, it used to res people and then do damage to her equal to 25% of her max HP. She doesn't do that no more. No more self-harm, plus the decrease went from 7 to 6. Very solid. Especially with so many other OP resers out here. I mean, that's pretty deep cooldown on res, especially if it did damage to her as well. Her aura also got changed. It used to be 42% in dungeons, now it's 34% in all battles. That's to help with Doom Tower, the impending Doom Tower, faction wars, things like that. So even though it's kind of a nerf, I'm happy to see it. Then we got Bistophus. Bistophus got the salad treatment, boy. He got served the Caesar salad. Because not only was he the poor man's hegemon, where he has AoEs that have a chance to inflict the block cooldown skill, the poor man's hegemon, but now he also has the ability on his A1, and if I read this correctly, now also has a 35%, it's a single target hit that now also has a 35% chance of placing the True Fear debuff for 1 turn on targets. You hear that S? Targets under block cooldown skill debuffs. Well, the rest of his kit, his A2 and his A3, are AoE, now true AoE, that gave block cooldown skills. So you use those skills, and then when you use his A1, not only do they have block cooldown skills, but you can give them True Fear, where not only do they not use their cooldown skills, but they don't even use they have a chance of not even using their A1, and we all know how broken True Fear is. So I'm definitely excited to see about Bistophus. His A3 got changed from a 4-hit random to a true AoE, and the damage got increased. So he was already a nuke Hexy. He was a poor man's nuke Hexy, and now they gave him True Fear. Kind of the salad treatment there. Then Candraphone. Has been a lot of discussion in the community, as far as, what I know. A lot of people are excited to see how he does. The question is he going to become an arena assassin, or is he just going to become another Astrolith? His kit is definitely one of those ones where you're going to have to tweak around, play with it. It might even require certain corresponding roles or champions and things like that. But there's plenty of people out there testing him right now as we speak, and there will be videos dropping soon. I may even do one. So, make sure you hit that sub, turn the notification bells on. You guys can get these upcoming videos. But his kit's pretty sick. I'm not going to go over it all. Crew Troxa, she got some of her kit fine-tuned, to make her more consistent, make her strong. She got her chance to land the weak and then remove the buffs increase, so that's very solid. I know some people are happy about that. Then we got Draco Morph. Oh my god, people were lighting their torches and sharpening their pitchforks for this one, but it really wasn't as bad as some of y'all thought, huh? I didn't think it was going to be. I definitely wasn't a person that was under the assumption that they would break Draco. Kind of feel like, even Plarium knows better than that. But he got a little nerf there. Definitely something, to keep in consideration. Then we got Drextar. Drextar has always been an underwhelming legendary. He does have a role early game if you pull him early. He's got a very nice accuracy aura, and he is clan boss viable, so a lot of people would slot him in there to make the jump to Nightmare before they can farm Spider real well, things like that. Well, he got a buff. His A1 is now scales completely off defense, not defense and attack, which is big for him. He's a defense champion. He now has a chance at 100% provoke and decrease attack. So, is that AoE? I'm pretty sure that's AoE. Yeah, that is. That's AoE provoke and AoE decrease attack. That's very strong. And then his passive got an additional effect where it increases resistance for every enemy under HP burn and stacks up to 50. And his speed got increased. So between the decreased attack, the provoke, the AoE, the fact that his passive can kind of work as an AoE HP burn, as well as increases his resistance and he's forced, I feel like he might have a shot at the top tier Spider 20 off affinity tank. Like, he literally might be the best off affinity tank now. Put him heavy in defense, and accuracy, land that provoke, land that decreased attack. His resistance is up, so he stays alive. Put him in some life steal, whatever. Speed went up even a little bit. Like, I think he's solid. He's definitely worth looking into. Next up on the list, we have Griptop. Griptop's always been the meme. When he came out, his kit was really interesting. People kind of got excited about it, but then his 5% poisons, he puts down 3 of them, and it does so much damage. Then when you cleanse them, it removes the poison, so the damage increase that your allies were getting from his passive would go away, and it just was so inconsistent. It was just kind of a jumble. Well, they fixed his cleanse, and they dropped his 5% poisons down to 2.5% poisons, which he has continuous heal buffs too, so he can kind of negate that himself. They might have fixed him. I'm interested to see, you know, how he works now, especially in some of those quick one-shot, you know, maybe two-shot kind of boss killer comp, possibly, yeah, you know, something like that. Anyways, then we got up Smash Lord. Smash Lord, he's always been very niche. You know, if you lack other options, he can be your cleanser, but then if you're against Torment, he has the chance of freezing everybody when he cleanses, and just so not effective. On his skill 2, they changed the order of his actions, so now that he removes all debuffs from the allies and immediately puts up the block debuffs, and then heals people, and you know, does all that extra stuff after that to kind of negate the torments in arena. And then his A3 used to be the kamikaze skill, where he would do 50% of his HP damage to himself and then deal out 50% of his HP as damage. Well, now they lowered that to 25%, so you know, he isn't out here killing himself so much. Norad was another one that caught my attention. He was given the block cooldown skill on his A1, and took away the decreased accuracy, so you know, he actually has some viability as a control tank in arena. Very interesting to see. But the big thing is his passive. Not only is he immune to stun, freeze, and sleep, but now if your allies are under buffs or not under buffs, they've got 15 to 25% damage mitigation. Might as well just change his name from Norog to consistent defense up. Like, that's what he is. He's consistent, unlimited defense up. He always has it up, even if no one's got buffs, because he does a 25% damage mitigation. Which, you know, who knows? Maybe somebody out there smarter than me can run the numbers. It might be more or less than actual defense up is, especially considering, you know, defense up is based off of defense, so that's whatever. And we got Rhodos. Rip Rhodos. Can I get a Rip Rhodos headstone or something? Because the undead has been brought down again. He is re-dead. He ain't undead anymore. He's re-dead. They decrease the damage. They decrease the chance of his extra turn on his A1. They decrease the damage on his A1. They decrease the damage on his A2, which is the one that gives himself HP. And then they completely obliterated his A3 by decreasing the damage, fixing the damage, decreasing the amount of defense that he ignores, and you can't get the block revive until he uses his A2 3 times at the very least, which isn't likely in arena. Just so much stuff to his A3. Rhodos is re-dead. Can I get a hashtag Rhodos re-dead down in the comments for that? Because that boy is all the way dead now. All the way dead. Still a good damage dealer, and he's still gonna take, you know, more extra turns than most. But he is not even a shadow, a wraith of his former self. Then we got Siffy. She got hit hard. She got hit hard. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people are upset about that. She got hit hard. Her sustain, her turn meter, her buffs, everything got hit hard. The question is, though, can she rise from the grave? I mean, she's undead. Maybe she come back. I mean, her buffs got extended 1 turn. Her heals, her turn meter all got reduced. Even 15% before wasn't that great, but now it's 10%. It's almost negligible. So, you know, it's really rough to see her hit. And I hope the best for all you Siffy owners out there. I don't have one. Don't have to worry about it. Come on, Duchess. Where's Duchess? Then we got Warlord. Oh my God. Somebody was up all night on a binge, you know, the night before they wrote this one up, because they gave Warlord a buff again. He was already super strong, platinum tier, you know, top ranked meta, placing champion, rah, rah, rah. They reordered the actions to counter Torment. They gave him cooldown reduction, and they matched his aura for Siffy's. He is truly a beast now. He was good before. He's truly a beast now. Moving on to the rebalance number 2. I'm not going to touch on too many of the epics, but there was a few that I definitely wanted to point out. Hexy is one of them. She kind of got the Griptop treatment, which ain't saying much, I guess. But now her damage for her A2 goes up based on each debuff she has on her. So, and it can go up to 30%. So you combine that with like a Griptop. Be interested to see how much damage she can put out. And as well as, increased her heal for debuffs. Like, she works really well off of how many debuffs she has on her. So, maybe there's some way of kind of putting that out there where it might work. Then we've got Hope. She was always had potential, but, like, her skills, her kit was kind of wired weirdly. And it looks like they fixed that. Her Holy Storm was a big one for her, and they've dropped it down to 4 turns plus books. I don't know if it can be booked, but 4 turns. She has a chance there. She got an increase to her shield here, and she got an increase to her block buffs and stuff. So a lot of increases here. Definitely happy to see them. And to me, she might be like a solid choice for a free-to-play early to mid-game sustain champion to really help people get through dungeons, campaign, things like that. If you pull her, you've only got a few epics, and one of them's Hope. She might actually be worth building. More info on that coming soon. Jotun actually surprised me. Jotun was a pretty decent DPS potential. The thing is, his damage was scaled off attack, and that one of his best spots was Clan Boss for his 100% uptime on his HP burn after it's booked. But he didn't have substantial attack stats, and you didn't want to build him for straight attack. So now they changed it to where he scales off HP. That's interesting, as well as an added effect on his A3 where he damage increased by 50% if the target's under HP burn. And again, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, once booked, he has 100% uptime on his HP burn. So definitely interesting there. And Madam Serious, she get overlooked, she overpowered. What do you guys think? I've definitely heard a lot of people, especially people who don't have Madame, complain about her, and they feel like she was overlooked. She got a minor nerf. It went from a 3-turn buff to a 2-turn buff on a 4-turn cooldown. So, they might have been able to do a little more there. To me, I feel like, having an OP super strong epic here and there ain't bad. But she's definitely one. Past that, Suwai Firstborn, she kind of, with her defense down on her A1, the weaken on her A2, the block buffs, and then even outside of Clan Boss with her increased attack and increased crit damage buffs, if they kill an enemy. Like, to be honest, a lot of her kit kind of reminds me of like a poor man's Rosin or an early game Rosin. You know what I mean? Like, you had a lot of people like, oh my god, I just need one more rare. I've been waiting for it for 6 months, blah, blah, blah. Well, to be honest, she might be able to work. Do some solid damage, do defense down a week, and kind of got to see the cooldowns on everything, but she has potential there. Then Taurus, my guy. I was really hoping he got the Draco treatment, but he didn't. But he did get a little buff. He went from 3 to 4 poisons that he lays down on his A3. He's already pretty strong with the Zavia comps and the Eleanor Real one-shot spider comps, things like that. So he got a buff. You're going to see even more damage out of him now. So if you've got him and you've got Eleanor Real or Zavia, anything like that, hey, good looking for you. You just got one of your main dungeon champions buffed. All in all, that covers the arena rebalance, and we went over the crafting, went over the quest, went over everything. The impending, as I've been calling it, the impending Doom Tower has not yet to drop. We're hoping to get it at 2.3, and hopefully 2.3 comes soon. Just out of today alone, man, the grind squad has seen a lot of new recruits, a lot of new activity, people talking, streams popping, so much stuff. So, Plarium, don't fuck this up. Leave that out. No, don't mess this up, man. Like, fix the little bugs that we're all anticipating come with this, get things rolling smoothly, and immediately roll out that 2.3, roll out that new Faction Wars champion, roll out that new Doom Tower. I literally had old members who quit the game come back today. They are seeing it. You can get your claws and drag more of them in. All you have to do is stay consistent with this shit. Give us more of those short-term roadmaps. Keep transparent. Keep in communication. Keep pumping it out. And for everybody else that isn't Plarium, keep on grinding. Stay happy. And may the shards break in your favor. Peace.